Hi guys, Westminster is continuing for us. You know, it's a week long, right? Shows Monday and Tuesday, but for us, really, it starts today. So, Amy and I are here, and we're going to chat about something that is a topic that some understand more intimately than others, and that is campaigning a number one dog. A lot of us, you know, watch those dogs that rise to the top and think, oh my God, I just wish that I could just do that once. And what we're trying to help everyone understand is what goes into that, and, you know, what really happens to one's life for a year that they're trying to push that number one dog for a year. Because I'm going to tell you guys, it is a life-altering experience. Am I right?
Absolutely.
So, you've had a lot of big winning dogs, and congratulations
Definitely
for that.
been very fortunate.
And, well, it's hard work.
Definitely.
It's well-deserved.
Thank you.
They're well presented.
Thank you
And,
very much.
you know, that's why you're sitting next to me right now, and we're talking about this. So, talk to me about the dogs that you have campaigned to the top. When did you know that, you know, they were the one, that was really
Okay.
a possibility?
Again, starting off as a child in the sport, all of that success of having good dogs was amazing, and having my family's dogs recognized was amazing. All the Britneys through the years that I grew up with. But then when you become a professional handler or a breeder owner handler, and it's another level of winning, it's completely a different story. So when you know one's special to that level, the first one for me that was, I'll say in the top 10 dogs all breed, was a smooth named Tux. And I really was a young lady at the time and had no idea. So for me to have said, oh, this is a great one, I'm going to make it a great one, no clue. I had no clue. It was truly that the judges loved that dog. And he took me for a ride. And I think he ended up number 6 dog that year. And I couldn't even tell you, that was a long time ago. So that one was different. When I had his great-grandson, then later, Dodger, in 2009, he came out for the first time. We started 2010, his second year of campaigning, and he was 2.5 years old. And we go to the Florida circuit like we do every year. The dog won Best in Show, and then Best in Show, and then Best in Show, and then Best in Show.
Well. Yeah.
And one of the photographers stopped my husband, and he's like, buckle up because you're going to have a heck of a year. And then we started thinking about, holy crap, this is just January, and this dog is winning like this. And I think it took both Phil and I to a different ride than we'd ever been on before. That dog was different. He owned the ring. He gave me his heart and soul every time he competed. Even when he wasn't having a good day, he was just the consummate show dog. But showing a dog to that level does come with a huge price tag, like you were saying.
And that price tag includes what?
Time traveling away from your family, time dedicated to the dog, keeping it in the most perfect condition, having that bonding relationship that you can have. The downside that is hard to discuss is you get so many people's approval by winning the Best in Shows, but the disapproval or the people that don't like your dog then really hurts. It hurts 10 times more than if you're just showing a dog at the basic level. Gossip, rumors, things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes its emotional toll on you, and then pushing to stay ahead. I don't think I ever had that with Tux, because again, he took me for a ride, and what he won is what he won. But when Dodgers campaign, when he started out winning like that, then we wanted to keep it to that level, and then that definitely put a level of pressure that it's hard to live with.
That's one of the other things that, you know, we can perhaps talk about for a minute, and that is when you do, you know, win like that coming out of the gate, how do you manage those expectations? I mean, you know, for you, you're a breeder owner handler. that's your breed, and
that's you just touched on something I want to go into. That's one of the biggest misconceptions about me. Most people always say, oh, she's a professional handler. All the clients that I show for, they know that first and foremost, I'm a breeder, owner, handler. The top winning dogs I've ever had in my entire career are dogs that I bred, owned, and handled. With the exception of the giant schnauzer that Robin Greenslade bred, the witching hour, Kenro's witching hour, Dora. She was the best winning dog I've ever shown that wasn't one that I bred and owned. So I just want to say to those that think it's just professional handlers that do it to this level,
right?
It can be done, breeder, owner, handled. I show dogs so that I can support my breeding program.
There you go.
Make sense?
So, is there a difference from the ones that you breeder, owner handled as opposed to like Dora? I mean, I know you and Dora had a spectacular bond. I mean, I watched it and it was amazing. But
I think honestly, it was harder on me to show Dora personally because I wanted so much for that breeder owner to have the recognition that I did feel with my own dogs. And when you want it for somebody else, I think for me it was a higher level of expectation. How I managed the expectation was your last question, and then I drifted off. Is thank God for Phil Booth because he did and does so much of the work behind the scenes to manage where I go, how I do it, and everything else, that all I had to do was focus on the dog. So everyone has a partner, that's where you share. And in reverse, when my husband had the #1 dog in the country, he got to focus on Oakley, and I took care of the rest of the business and the rest of the dogs. But again, the struggle is you're living two different lives at that point.
So, again, one of the keys that Amy just mentioned that, everybody should keep in the back of your mind is walking out there in the ring with the dog is a very small piece of the puzzle. Of course, it's important, but the other pieces are equally, if not more important. It's critical. So you've got all of that planning going on behind the scenes, the conditioning and everything else, and it's so critical. So, would you do it again?
Very, very tough question, as I was telling you. I don't need it for my goals personally anymore. I have to say I'm so grateful I did it. So you could say for somebody else coming around, it's an amazing ride, but not necessarily what I would want to do again. If the right dog came along and it all fell into place, definitely I would want to carry that through, but I wouldn't seek it out. More what I've learned as I've gotten older and what I should have listened to, just like I should listen always to my mother. I listen to the people who've come before me that have been huge in their breeds. What matters more than the number of wins is the quality of the wins. So yes, it's awesome to have #1. Yes, it's awesome to have a record. But the quality of the win and having a really great dog, I think, is more what's important to me.
That's great. Is there any bullet points or specific advice that you would give someone that hasn't done this, that's contemplating doing it?
I think that's funny. I see young ladies that have some top dogs coming up over the last few years, and I know I've taken them aside and said, hey, I hope that you can learn a couple things from my experience. Stay off social media.
There you go.
Do not read anything. Back when I was showing dogs, they had a blog, I shouldn't say back when I was showing dogs, but back when I was campaigning Dodger, they had the blog that had anonymous posts, and that was a little harsh for me. At least on Facebook, you get to know who's saying something good or bad, but stay off of it. Don't look at the rankings. Don't see where your dog is at. Enjoy the show, and definitely have a partner, whether it's your husband, your wife, or a friend. Have somebody else running the goals and the expectations and the planning and the everything else, so you can really enjoy showing the dog in your 10 minutes in the ring, because when you're just focused on that, you will continue to win. Because that is such a beautiful, if you have a great dog and you put on a great show, there's no denying it.